Education Minister confirms that government will remove school fees for the new school year. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, July 5th, 2022, I am Kristen Mitchell. The government of Grenada will move ahead with plans to implement a no-fees policy from the new school term in September. That's according to Minister for Education, Senator the Honorable David Andrew. He says the conversation between his ministry, principals, and other stakeholders will soon commence to establish the guidelines necessary for a successful implementation. Minister Andrew explained that although the plan is not yet concrete, there will be definite changes to the ministry's policy position on the issue. He told the Government Information Service that a thorough analysis will be conducted on what currently exists and how it can be enhanced to fulfill the Prime Minister's recent commitment to remove school fees for the new school year.
In the coming school term, there'll be no fees applied as indicated by the Prime Minister. However, there are going to be some meetings to iron out kinks because we are aware that in some schools some fees have been aggregated. So some schools include fees for ties and for some parts of the uniform in some of the registration fees. So a discussion needs to be had to make sure we disaggregate those and we can speak to them separately. But in a general sense, we are projecting towards what was declared, and we just wanted to make sure that we give notice to all of our persons or stakeholders in education. So that has been dealt with by way of a circular through the Office of the Chief. If there's a charge for a tie, that's a charge that we obviously accept, that we are prepared to have persons pay and we know that there are some nuances with security fees and some special arrangements that some schools make. Making adjustments would require some additional changes on the part of ministry policy positions. So we're going to have those discussions, and when we speak with all of our stakeholders, principals association and schools, we'd be able to more appropriately guide and as a ministry and as a government take the actions that will support that commitment as well.
Newly elected government ministers say they are excited and optimistic about fulfilling promises, enhancing and transforming the public sector, and developing the economy. On day 2 at the office, GIS spoke with Minister for Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, Honorable Andy Williams, and Minister of State with responsibility for agriculture, lands, fisheries and cooperatives, Senator Honorable Adrian Thomas. Both are eager to have boots on the ground to continue projects and programs to contribute to economic development.
The staff at the complex was welcoming and they showed us a good face, and I am looking forward to do great things. This ministry is a ministry where we will get things done, and we are putting the framework into place right now that we can proceed. So the first day was a day when we had to start putting things in place so that we can move forward with the department. I am eager to work, eager to get things done, eager to mobilize and implement, and also transform the country in the process. And transform through education also, not just through projects, but we can help educate our people in order for them to transform their lives in a better way. So it's a complete process, and we are up to the task.
It was a pleasure being back here, and the PS did a fantastic job in terms of taking me around to meet the various staff. And I was really embraced and I felt welcome. I did not come into the Ministry of Agriculture wondering what will be done. The National Democratic Congress has a serious plan for agriculture. So it's not a matter of what has to be done what will be done in the Ministry of Agriculture, but what the whole question of we have to transform the Ministry of Agriculture. We know exactly where we are going and what we want to do, and the Ministry of Agriculture will be one of the main pillars in moving the economy and transforming Grenada. So we quite positive and show exactly what we want to do and where we want to take agriculture. The staff is very eager, and they do have some plans in the pipeline, and together with I will do a review, and we'll see how we can take that department and make it into something very meaningful that can contribute to the development of this country.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
The house was shaking, then said the story here, babe, crack, and the roof had gone.
Man, I was so scared, I nearly wet myself.
Only those who have lived it can truly understand the devastating fury of a hurricane's wind.
The house across the road just get up and roll over.
Hurricane force wind. It's a hazard. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. You can hurricane-proof your home. For example, make your roof more wind-resistant by using screws instead of nails in its construction. Find out more about hurricane force winds and other hazards at your local disaster office. A message from the National Disaster Management Agency and Sedera.
Welcome back. Uniting the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, healthcare and inter-island travel. These are three of the major priorities of Honorable Tevin Andrews, Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs and Local Government.
The mere fact that today I had to come down the Coast Guard and we had to charter the hospital to get here is a clear indication of the challenge that the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique face with the inter-island travel. The mere fact that the plane is not operating, they are operating until mid-July, and all of these things, we intend to deal with the inter-island issue. And of course creating a new economy. A new economy in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, helping to transform and to build and improve our water infrastructure and supply in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. And of course agriculture, which is another top priority for us. And there are many other things. But I think the three main things is, one, to unite our people because we are way too divided. Two, the healthcare challenges that our people face, which we intend to partner with SGU, partner with CHS, partner with the diaspora, and of course dealing with the inter-island travel issue. It's a major concern to all, and in order to get the economy moving, it is something that must be done.
Improvements in the infrastructure of the building that houses the T.A. Marshall Community College in Carriacou will also be given immediate attention.
The first order of business I'll be dealing with the Minister of Education with. It is something that must be done. You can't have a government institution in that condition in my territory. It is something that I intend to deal with aggressively. And already the Minister for Education and I started the discussion. I understand that there's some preliminary work has already been done, but I will, of course, my parliamentary colleague and I, cabinet colleague and I, intend to work together hand in hand to bring an amicable solution to that problem as soon as possible. Yeah.
The government of Grenada has partnered with the Sandals Foundation and the Grenada Coral Reef Foundation to implement a community-led coral restoration project in Waltham, St. Mark's. The project will be executed to protect the coral reefs along the shores of Grenada through the installation of bio-rock structures, coral trees, bi-weekly in-water coral gardening, as well as PADI scuba diving sessions for persons within the parish. During the project launch on Monday, President of the Grenada Coral Reef Foundation, Dr. Steve Nimrod, said the project will create ripple effects for the parish.
This one is particularly timely for a number of reasons. One, it's a collaborative venture, and in that collaborative venture, it involves you, the community here. And we always like things to be driven from the ground up. This, as you know, would always enhance collaboration and participation. In terms of the myriad of threats that we face here, we cannot actually give up on our reefs. Reason being is that our reefs do too much for us, okay, in terms of our livelihoods and so, as well as our own protection. So as a foundation, we just cannot, throw our hands up and give up on it. And this is why we conduct a lot of research, and, we've been gaining knowledge, and so in many different areas. And we are just more than happy to share the skills, knowledge, and expertise that we have gained as a team to share this with your community here to enhance, again, lives, livelihoods, and so on here.
Representative from the Sandals Foundation, Georgia Scarlett, says her team is happy to be a part of the project.
We do work across the region under the areas of environment, community, and education. This project falls under our environmental portfolio, and when Grenada Coral Reef Foundation came to us, it was an obvious yes for us to provide support. This is the kind of work that we do because we do believe that in taking care of communities in this way helps communities for years to come. We do this work in St. Lucia, we do this work in Jamaica because we understand the importance of marine conservation, and not only by putting in structures as we're doing with the biorock and through the coral trees, but also empowering the communities.
George Phillip, Chief Fisheries Officer, congratulates Sandals and Grenada Coral Reef Foundation for taking the initiative to enhance the community through restoration.
On behalf of the Ministry of Economic Planning, to which the Fisheries Division is connected to, we say thank you to Sandals Foundation, thank you to Grenada Coral Reef Foundation, thank you to Waltham Volunteers and Steering Committee. And we say, we will make it work. And the coral reef will grow. And Grenada will benefit.
Parliamentary Representative-elect Dr. Clarice Modest-Cohen is happy for this project in the community.
This is great. It's great that this is community-led and that there is ownership and buy-in, because I believe that is critical to the success of this project.
The project is coordinated by Mr. Roland Baldio. And finally in the news, Acting Registrar of Cooperatives, Ms. Meryl Philip Sylvester, says Grenada's cooperative industry continues to grow and advance the local socio-economic landscape. Her comment was made in observance of International Cooperatives Day on July 2nd, 2022, under the theme, Cooperatives Build a Better World. Grenada joined the rest of the world in commemorating International Cooperatives Day to increase awareness of cooperatives and promote the movement's ideas of international solidarity, economic efficiency, equality, and world peace. Ms. Philip Sylvester said the movement in Grenada started in the early 1940s, where there has been steady growth, which led to the formation of a department of cooperatives. In Grenada, many cooperatives have been formed over the decades, including financial, producer, and service in nature, which have left an indelible mark on the local socio-economic landscape.
Many Grenadians have been lifted from the throng of poverty because of their involvement with the various cooperatives that existed on island. In most cases, the acquisition of skills and knowledge that they gained increased their earning power, positively affecting their life and livelihood.
Some of the benefits that can be derived from being a part of the cooperative movement are reduction in poverty, food security, creating jobs with decent working conditions, building local expertise and profits, exemption from income tax, access to grant funds, and fostering gender equality. That story has brought us to the end of the National Report for today, Tuesday, July 5th, 2022. On behalf of the entire news and production team here at the Government Information Service, I am Kristen Mitchell saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.